What's up, Rumble Potters? Just like the... welcome to the first episode.
Sup, nerds?
Sup, nerds?
We gotta figure out.
Yeah, fuck. Nerds is aggressive.
Right.
Sup, fuckers?
Sup, flat feet?
Yeah.
Flat foots?
What's up, mouth breather? That's me sometimes.
That's also me, yeah.
What's a cool...
Adventurers?
Adventurers, travelers? Avatars.
Heroes.
Yeah, I like heroes. Yeah, but like that's anti-villainous.
Rumblers.
I'll take rumblers.
Rumblers and your tumblers.
Yeah, rumblers and your tumblies.
It's okay. My tummy rumbles all the time, so that's me.
Usually, okay. Before we start, I know this is like a very D&D pod, but when your stomach like rumbles, is it usually because? How do I put this? Is it usually because it's full or because it's empty?
Usually because I ate something that maybe I probably shouldn't have.
Ah, okay.
Like I ate lunch.
So it's sick.
Like I ate lunch and it was just like gurgling. Like it wasn't pain, but it was just like very active.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, settle down, settle down.
Usually mine's because I have to poo, and I'm holding it because I'm like not gonna poo at a park.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when there's a bathroom available. Anyway, episode 1. So just to introduce ourselves, my name is Dremagix.
I'm a fictitious professor.
And we are content creators, we're artists, and we're starting a D&D channel. Why are we starting a D&D channel?
That's a good question.
Sorry, I didn't think to like run questions by you, bro.
It's okay. Fly by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, for sure. Just
yeah,
like
I mean,
everything else in our life.
Yeah, it's like, we work together. Like, I'm a musician. Dre's a creative, which I don't know.
Let's call it creative.
Yeah, we work on a lot of creative projects together. I wasn't sure if we wanted to
no, let's save that. Let's
leave specifics.
Also, I just introduced myself as Dremagix.
Oh, that's true. So you can kind of guess.
Yeah, I'm a magician, professional magician.
Right. So yeah, we work on a lot of projects together, and again, the same creative circles.
Right.
And I'd been really excited about this specific setting of D&D called Sinuuna, which is based off of pre-colonial Filipino folklore. And so I'd like pitched the idea to Dre.
Also, we're Filipino.
Yes.
Just to, like it's like a Chinese guy and a white guy doing
right. You're right. Yeah. These guys.
Content.
Who's this sumo and the last samurai?
Yeah, it's like a sumo wrestler and Matisyahu doing Filipino stuff.
But yeah, we are both Filipino.
Yeah.
So like if you don't know about it, please check it out. It's on Hit Point Press. I'd encourage you all to check it out. Get a PDF copy or a hardcover copy. Support the team. There's like, I don't think they have a Instagram for the team itself, but like all the people who are involved in it, you can follow them individually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like something I pitched to Dre, and then finally when we had the time, we're like, oh, let's just start doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy because like, I know especially in LA, I mean, I was gonna say fuck LA, not LA's great. But for me personally, I think I've always had an interest in D&D. I never had the chance to play it.
Right.
Same. Yeah, but it's just like so hard to, find people who are already in it.
Yeah.
And just the way we are is like, well, let's just do it ourselves and let's figure it out.
Right. Yeah, and it's like Sinuuna is so new. There's no content, or there's no like pre-made stories, or even just like trying to find any like YouTube videos of somebody playing a campaign based on it. Like the creators, they have a couple episodes, but outside of it,
one shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so our thing is we're using it just because it's the like setting that hits the most home for us. I mean, obviously, being Filipino. I mean, even being generally just Asian, right?
Right.
It's a cool jumping off point for, or a cool reference point to jump off in like fantasy.
Right.
Right. And I think it was like from the start of it, and there's always the option to like not make it content.
Right.
Right. But I think it was like our prerogative to be like, let's put this on the internet, let's have a good time, and like maybe us making it content is for very selfish reasons.
Right.
And the number one reason is like we want more friends to play D&D with.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah. I mean, it's still purely selfish, but it's
Right.
like not as like, oh, let's make YouTube million whatever.
Right. Yeah, and I mean just like any sort of like viral YouTube collective or what have you, it's always from a community. It's always just like a bunch of friends who were doing this stuff anyways, and then they finally just decided like, hey, let's record it, throw it up on YouTube, see what happens.
Right. As of right now, we are in the process of building a community, right? We have a Discord. If you want to check out our Discord, we'll put it somewhere where you have to like click a thing. But as of right now, we already shot and are in post-production for our first one-shot, which is also in Sinuuna. And we're in the middle of filming our main campaign, which is called Estranjero. And we're doing something kind of different. Should we tell them what we're doing for it?
Yeah, we do a little sneak peek.
Yeah, sneak prick.
Sneak prick.
That's something else.
Yeah.
Different website. No, but it's like...
Sounds like the rogues move. I'm going to do a sneak prick.
Oh, yeah. It's exclusively a Filipino uncle's...
Yeah.
I'm going to sneak prick you, huh? But, so, this first campaign, we wanted to... I know for myself, when I was, like, kind of thinking about it a lot, we wanted to have an end. Like a complete story, right?
Right.
I know most campaigns go on for years, and there's full stories that live within that one campaign. But I think for this first one, I wanted to see a definite ending, something we can build to. So season 1, I'm the DM, and Vic, you're playing in my campaign. And for season 2, we're going to switch it up. So you're the DM, and I'm playing in your campaign. And I think the whole series is going to be about 5 seasons, is what we planned. Of course, plans are going to change, or whatever. I think the 5th season, though, there's a plan to combine both games, and I've never seen that in like a D&D D&D content before.
Yeah, that's going to be like a 10-person party.
Yeah, it's going to be a bitch to plan,
insane,
but it's like it's going to be pretty awesome.
Right.
And obviously, some people aren't going to make it all the way.
Right.
Maybe some characters die or whatever.
Retire or...
Get sick. I sound so threatening to
buy a farm.
People's PCs. Yeah.
So to speak.
Right. We're just organ trailing people. You just got dysentery in the epilogue. By the way, you die.
Your character got eaten by a giant tiburones.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen that kind of structure in D&D content before. So I think that'd be pretty cool. We're doing like a Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue type thing, and then like a Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
By the way, I like on my TikTok right now, they're saying red, blue, and yellow are not the primary colors anymore.
What do you mean?
You hear about that? Like by the rules of primary colors, they're not primary colors.
Oh.
And it's actually maroon, cyan, and...
Oh, CMYK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, the like CMYK, cyan, maroon,
and
yellow, and then...
Instead of...
K is like black?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, CMYK is the colors for the printers.
Yeah. I'm out of cyan!
Dude,
Cyan's always the one that goes
That was the most annoying. Because it's like you're printing black and white, like documents for school, right?
Yeah.
Like your paper.
You're like, why do I need yellow for...
Yeah.
for black and white?
That's the worst. Yeah, there's a CMYK magazine that's all like graphic designs and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm like, how much stuff can you put in a magazine just on that principle?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know if the magazine's still around. I had a friend she was studying graphic design. She's like, oh, look at this CMYK magazine. I'm like, what?
That's crazy. But yeah, so we're doing this. I think it's a cool here's the what are your issues with the channel and stuff right now? Do you have any like, ugh, or do you have any? I don't know. How do you feel about it so far?
I mean, so far it's good. I mean, it's just the biggest struggle is scheduling. With like any like, leave a comment if you play D&D, talking about how difficult it is to schedule
As
your
an
party.
adult out of college.
Right.
Yeah, I feel.
And
like
also as like adults who also don't have a regular 9 to 5.
Yeah.
We're both freelancers, and most of our friends are also freelancers.
Yeah.
So it's like, or yeah, they have a 9 to 5, and then also like a creative thing that they do in the evening. So it's like, okay, how do we schedule this?
Yeah, it's crazy because
Consistently.
like in terms of scheduling, right? We were supposed to shoot our first production shoot in December.
Right.
That was the plan, and then we shot our first one in February,
Yeah.
and we couldn't shoot in March because everyone's busy.
Yeah.
And like, thank God we got 2 shoots out of April.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like
It's like almost finishing the first season.
almost.
Almost halfway.
Who knows? Who knows?
You know.
I do know. Which, okay, that brings me to another point, right? Which is like, this channel is the first time I've ever played D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And right off the jump, I'm the DM.
Right.
And that, like, I had to learn the game really fast. And that, like, I guess the type of person I am, when I find, like, a new thing I'm interested in, I'll, like, hyper fixate on it.
Right.
And, like, hermit myself for, like, 3 days in, like, books and YouTube and, like, all this shit. But also, it's kind of a daunting task to be jumped into, like, a DM
Right.
role right away.
Yeah. That was also like my hesitancy with like trying to play when I was younger, because I didn't want to DM. Just because like I wanted to play, or like, you know, have a DM who was like at least experienced, had like played the game before.
Yeah.
So then like having my friends, like in high school, like I think I tried to get everyone to play in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like before 5th edition. I think it was like 4.5 or something.
3.5.
2.5. And then I had a friend who was down to DM, and then just like, you know, we're all in like, I think we were sophomores, so like none of us had cars. So it was like, all right, well, I guess we're not. And then like we got more interested in video games and stuff, so it kind of fell to the wayside. But then like lockdown happened, so then I was able to like figure out.
Everyone got into D&D
right,
during
yeah.
lockdown. Yeah.
So playing with some friends online, and then also like once some of the local hobby stores opened up, I was able to play in person a few times, so that was fun. But yeah, like DMing is definitely like seems intimidating, and like so far I've DM'd one shot, and that was fun. Like,
Yeah, I was part of that. That was cool.
Still getting my like DM skill sets and like tools,
Yeah, for sure.
and all those kind of things.
I mean, like, I was part of that one shot, and I think you did a great job. Yeah, I have no notes, because it's like, how do I say this? Because there are 2 kind of levels, right? There's
Right.
like, unfortunately, there is a thing where you could have a bad DM,
Right.
but also a lot of it's stylistic,
Right.
right? So those are 2 kind of like rails, or like
Like bumpers, guides.
scales to like kind of judge how you're doing as a DM.
Right.
I thought like stylistically it was dope, but like quality wise it was also dope. Like it wasn't he's bad, but maybe it's just like a stylistic thing, you know, like using that as an excuse.
Right.
I felt like taken care of. I felt like my character like was heard a lot. And I also like noticed our very different DM styles.
Mm-hmm.
And after shooting our first one shot and talking to all the PCs, like I noticed I'm very puzzly.
Yeah.
where I'm like, am I though? Isn't this like shouldn't it be puzzly? And then I'm like clearly very the puzzle guy.
Right.
To the point where my encounters are almost like puzzly.
Right.
I don't know if I should change that though. I like that.
It's fine.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. What are your other things about creating this channel? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
objectives or like goals.
Yeah. One thing that I've been thinking about is like, especially since we're gonna be making a lot of like Sina Una content at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
we might end up being like the people, like if we had a Reddit channel, like everyone would be asking us all the questions about Sina Una stuff and like
Yeah.
gameplay, which is like, we're like those teachers that reads the lesson the night before and has to teach it,
Yeah.
which it's like, everything in it's pretty extensive.
I
Like the
feel
book.
like as a professor, I'm the guy that's like, now throw your book in the air. All right, what do you guys want to do? Like, I'm that guy.
Right. Which
Sorry,
I think it's
guys.
like it's a cool like prospect to be like, oh, these are like the Sina Una guys.
Yeah.
Or like this is the Sina Una channel. And like if you need
sure.
ideas for, homebrewing your own campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody does our campaign, or if we're at a place where a publishing company is like, hey, can we like publish your campaign? So that like folks can buy it, like, hell yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah, I'm super down for that. Also, like, disclaimer, like, yes, our world is based on Sina Una, but like, we're not the best students.
Right, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff we're changing with respect to the source material, though.
Right.
I think like the Islands of Sina Una, that book, that source book, was a great gift. That was like we got blessed with, but also there are some things that we want to do story-wise, and that's what D&D lends itself to, is like
Right.
creative storytelling, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if there's like a thing that you want to do, but there's no stats for it, clearly I'm gonna make up these fucked
Right.
up stats,
Totally.
and like if you want to fight a giant that breathes fire, like I'm gonna find the amalgamation of what that is and put it together and like paint it Filipino as fuck,
Right.
and it's gonna exist, right? Because that's whatever complex I have. I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
I think in terms of the storytelling, I think it's very advantageous because we have grown up Filipino and Philam, also allowing ourselves to explore our culture through this high fantasy world
Yeah.
is hella dope.
Yeah, because like all the deities are just in the Sina Una book are straight up like the oral tradition passed down
Right.
from like
Yeah,
it's,
they did
it's
their
also
research
it's like
on it.
an amalgamation of like various regions of the Philippines,
Mhm.
like their deity, because it's like within the 7,000 plus islands of the Philippines, it's like there's regional differences of the deities, but a lot of it's like kind of similar. So
Right.
I think they did a really good job of like amalgamating sort of the folklore into a way that like is understandable, and it's like, oh, these are like literally the deities, like the moon gods and the goddesses and sun, and all the like, what else? There's like some star, there's like sons of the moon and sun.
Did I mention we're bad students?
Yes.
No,
remember there's something about kids who are
read
stars.
yeah, we've read it at one point. We just
Right.
forgot it,
Yeah, leave a comment
Yeah.
if you know what I'm talking about. Also leave a comment if you don't know what I'm talking about.
We're just trying to bait engagement.
Right.
What I think, though, is it's a good opportunity. And this is just my prerogative as a DM, right? Where I get to explore, like generational trauma and like things I think are wrong with society culturally,
Sure.
through this high fantasy world. Where, for example, let me try and like not hit it so on the head. You know what I mean? For example, like growing up Philam, it's very hard to communicate with both your generation and your parents' generation.
Right.
Sometimes, right? So maybe there's like a situation where you can only communicate with one or the other at the same time, or at one time.
Yeah.
Where somehow you lose your tongue when you enter into this like this island or whatever it is,
sure,
right?
sure.
Where it like physically manifests, but it symbolizes this plight in our culture,
Oh, yeah.
right? And now we can be creative of how we explore that, but also have it resonate with whoever's watching it, or even like whoever's playing. Where, for example, let's say you as a like a mixed Filipino, right? I mean, it's like colorism,
Right.
right, is a big prevalent like problem
Right.
in even in like film culture,
Right.
where like now we can manifest it in the game, where it's low key like, oh, you're treated badly because you're like a half orc,
Right.
as opposed to like a full, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
honestly, most of my player characters are half something. Like even prior to like the games that we've been playing, the ones I played at the local game store, like, oh yeah, I'm a half elf, just like half something.
Yeah,
or
I've
whatever.
noticed that too. Actually, the two things.
Yeah.
What are other common like threads that you do between your characters? Because I've thought of probably 4 characters for myself alone, and they've always been, they all have a thing in common.
Yeah, all of my characters, because it's like there's a tendency to put your own personality within your characters.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the traits that I've noticed all of mine have are like they're kind of quiet.
They're stoic.
Yeah,
Stoic is
because
the
even
word.
like the very first character I made was a bard. And
Uh-huh.
even the bard didn't really say anything. Like I did like vicious mockery, and then
Uh-huh.
the DM's like, all right,
What do you
say? And I was like, you suck. You're dumb. And the DM's like, okay.
I'll take it.
You psychic damage.
Yeah. I think for me, my characters that I've thought of and are like, they all have a thing to them that makes them not optimal. Like I know the character, the barbarian I played in your thing,
Yeah.
was like he was like really dumb,
Right.
or like dumb is weird. Dumb is a weird word. I think he resembled me the most because he had like very wild ideas, right? Like he was proficient at what he was good at and what he was hired to do.
Right.
But like creatively, he was like, but what if we did this with this pass?
Right.
And I think for the archer, right, we're talking about, I had this idea of like creating this hunter character. But he was like 90 years old, and this was like his last adventure. Which, as I'm not 90, but as I'm getting older and like artist space, I'm like, yo, dude, this might be my last one of like whatever this is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever festival I have to do, I'm like, yo, this might be my last one, last ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they all have that.
It never is.
It never is though, because it's in him, you know. So that's like the commonality of all the characters I've been making.
So now I'm just thinking about it's like, yeah, all the festivals like we go to, it's like, it's my last one, and then it's like, there's another one next month.
Yeah,
like
the
next weekend.
following week.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's like I gotta stop coming to these, and it's like, oh, well, here we are again.
Like there's so many times I want like a hot dog and rice on a stick, eating standing up.
Right. Or it's like, oh, this is the last open mic I'm gonna help organize, and it's like, okay, here's more.
Everyone trying to have an open mic where they do, this is messed up, in LA, and if you know, you know. I feel like everyone's first idea for an open mic is like, all right, we're gonna do an open mic, but for the feature artist, I'm gonna give them an interview also. And that's like the whole gimmick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's called a podcast.
Yeah,
what
there's
you're
like, I
doing.
can think of at least a dozen.
Yeah, within the past like year and a half.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask them about their artistry. Shout out if you already done it, but like also, it happens a lot. You can't knock me for noticing. The
One of our
frequency
friends, that's their MO. Like every single open mic they have has an interview portion.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it the same one I went to?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, look, that's, you can't knock the hustle though. Like,
Right.
They're hustling, and that's like what they're trying to do. If you were to host an open mic, no, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. What are some other challenges? I'll set you up.
Okay.
I keep like throwing shit out without giving you time to think. Like for me, I know our first episode, content-wise, is not optimally shot.
Right.
And I think one of my things that I constantly think about before releasing, if you're watching this now, we've already released the first episode that came out last week. And you can check that out on YouTube at Rumble Roll. But this, and then we're going to do the following podcast after, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think for that episode, we had a problem with the camera.
Right.
And I was very mad when that came out. And it's like, what can you do though? Like it's done. I'm not gonna rerun the thing.
Yeah, it's like
that session.
Yeah, because for me creatively, I try to. I'm always at a crossroads of either like create within your current technological understanding and means.
Yeah.
And then for me, the opposite end is just like go big or go home. Just like fuck it. Just like dive in head first.
Yeah, it's your last one.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like this might have been we bit off a little bit too much. Not that we bit off too much than we could have chewed. Chown. Consumed.
Consumed. Hold on. You bit off more than you can chown. It's crazy. Go ahead.
To write that down.
Did you chew your food? Yeah, I chowed already. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's like, we just started. We're trying to do a little bit more of an elaborate like 3-cam setup.
Yeah.
So it was like not that it's like the reason why it failed, but it's just kind of like we were like, okay, this is like the edge of our technological capabilities, and like, we had them set up, but then we had nobody like watching the equipment to make sure that it was running correctly, because we were still in front of camera.
On cam, yeah.
So then it's like now we're just using a phone, right? And when we know you hit record, it's gonna work. Unless we ran out of memory, but it's like we checked. There's no no memory.
We need that level of reliability.
Right.
And I think for that first shoot,
it's just a bit out of reach.
Rolling the dice.
There you go. So then now like dialing it back into a tried and true methods where we're like, okay, for sure this is gonna get the result that we need.
And then it can grow when it needs to grow, right?
Yeah. Or submit to our Patreon whenever we have one for this.
You throwing out shit that we don't even have.
I'm gonna write a blank check with no date.
that thing.
Or the date. I mean, we'll have a Patreon at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
So you want to help us grow?
Yeah.
Or Venmo us.
Just send us product.
Yeah.
I'm down to hang with product. We need more dice.
Yeah, we don't have enough.
Yeah. These are just like...
Or a cooler dice. This is a cool dice tower, but I'm always down for that. It's like a mug.
And you're fucking... Dude. Yeah. I'll do one. Dude, what if you had one that's like a crazy straw attached?
Oh, dude.
Very cool.
I was thinking about like the foam hats.
And then you put
dice just all the way down. Yeah. I'd be down.
That's funny.
Oh, dude. We should get a Barrel Man dice tower.
You gotta open it.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, you put it in the barrel, and you take the barrel out, and then it's like
it shoots up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's something there.
There's something there. We'll figure it. Engineers to help us out.
3D printers.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't need CMYK. They just need filament.
Yeah. So no, I mean that was like a big issue. I mean that I'm still thinking about before releasing.
Right.
We're filming this way before release, maybe like a week or 2 weeks before. But that's an issue that I'm like constantly thinking about. And then I'm like, oh, it's just stories. Like, just watch and listen to the stories.
Right.
Yeah, I think those are the big kind of hurdles. But like, I want to continue because I think the reward of the goal far surpasses what the bullshit we're going through now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's basically my driving force of continuing.
Yeah.
Also bringing it back down to earth, right? And putting the content creation out of it. And we talked about this earlier, but at the end of the day, bro, we're playing D&D with our friends.
Right.
And that's dope, you know? Another goal of ours is to build like community.
Right.
So we got this Discord. Did we mention the Discord?
Yeah.
My bad. Okay, you know about the Discord.
You're a part of the Discord now.
Join the Discord. Yeah, and you can talk to us directly.
Yeah, once you accept the terms and conditions of the Discord.
Yeah.
Basically, don't be an asshole. Don't be creepy.
That's the only one.
Don't be asshole. Be good vibes.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah,
You know?
or else we'll have to kick you out.
Yeah. I don't know if my name is Dremagix on that or Dre Feezy. That was me in a past life.
Right.
Before Magic. But I had one more thing. Oh, okay, so let's talk about the first episode of the one shot. Right? So we have this one shot that we shot. Gotta get better at planning.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, what did you think of it? I think the first episode is up until, spoiler, up until maybe you get out.
Oh, okay.
After you find the thing.
Yeah.
That you're looking for. Yeah, so this is like the spoiler section. If you haven't seen that, go watch that, but you're gonna get spoiled if you haven't.
Right.
So you've already found this like book that you were hired to get, right?
Right.
You're part of this guild. What do you think of that first little section? Because we shot probably the first 2 episodes on the same day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Because I'm just thinking about the whole one shot as a whole, and now I'm like,
yeah, we have to segment it, right?
there's like questions that I have and things that I thought were getting set up, but they're not related to anything.
Like what?
I'm trying to think of what the specific one was. I think it later tied back. It was like, oh, okay, I see what you were kind of setting up.
Yes.
For it being like the cookbook.
Oh, a cookbook.
And like all the like food references. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of.
That was
what it
all
is.
improv.
Really?
I just needed a fun hook. So it's gonna be so hard, but we've already found this book of the ancients from this wizard, because the guild was hired to score it, right?
Right.
And the idea was, the wizard was really big on sweets and cooking. What part? Because just like the whole theme of.
Yeah, it eventually got tied in. Where it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was me covering my ass from earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's.
So I think that's why I was like, huh, because I'm used to things that you plan to be a little bit more like
concrete.
cleaner cut.
Yeah.
Or to be a more like, oh, this is really solid and makes sense. It was more of like I'm like, I guess. It works. It's like, you can do that? Okay.
I feel like a shit DM now.
No, not as like a
No,
knock.
yeah, I feel you. I think because, like, when was the first time you felt that? Like during the statue holding a donut thing?
Yeah.
So this is why I did it. I noticed the theme of the whole house building. We're like, oh shit, everything's circular. And like, the idea was to find that book, you needed to dust for fingerprints.
Right.
Right? And I'm like, shit, you probably need a kitchen because you need something to dust with. So I just made the whole thing like
a donut
recipe based.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because the need for a kitchen there.
Right.
Plus the need to. My biggest problem with setting up that dungeon or the jail was, how are you going to get out?
Right.
Because I didn't know how you were going to get out. Because in a world where everyone's magic, like, why wouldn't you just why would you get caught in the first place, number one?
Right.
Number two, how would you get out? Or, like, how would a prison keep these magical beings in? And two, how would these magical beings get out without the use of their own magic?
Right.
Right? And those were the kind of issues I had to think about. And mine was just like, yeah, the wizard's stronger than them, but he's also sillier.
Right.
And likes donuts.
Right.
So it worked out in the end because of thematically what the book does.
Right.
And you'll see it later.
Yeah, once it got to that part, I was like, okay.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
I think I was also more, not necessarily blindsided in a bad way, but it's like when some of the NPCs that we encountered ended up being pivotal to like the end. I was like, oh, that's interesting, because there was no like foreshadowing of it.
Right, and that was my challenge because that was my first time DMing a one shot.
Right.
And number one, I made it way too long. I didn't know how short one shots should be. I was just like, oh, let me just cut a campaign in like a fourth, and let me just do that.
I feel like we would have finished it. It's a good. It was a good length of a one shot, but I feel like we took too much time
With the puzzle.
No, the puzzle didn't. It wasn't. I don't think the puzzle was too long. I think it was the point after we got back to town as we were leaving.
Oh, they're like traveling?
Well, that took too much time, and then also the encounter with the NPCs took too much time.
Right. And then that's a thing we can talk about, right? Like playing with new D&D players.
Right.
Because I feel like new D&D players always just want to fight.
Right.
And I should have been aware of that as a DM.
Right.
But I was also a new DM. So I'm just like, oh, here's the answer. And I like almost felt spoon-feedy on some stuff, but we had he's a great friend of ours, but like his whole thing was like, I want to do this. And
right.
Like, I don't want to say no to you so many times, but it's illogical what you're asking of me right now.
Right.
Yeah. So that.
Yeah, and then that player, when it, like, they talk a lot, and whenever they get quiet, it's like, oh, they're brewing something.
Yeah, they're brewing some dumb shit.
And then when they finally talk again, it's like, oh, that's what you were working on.
That's what comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's dope. That was a great. That was a cool insight to that first little section.
Yeah, it's definitely also giving me ideas too, especially building a one shot for like brand new players. Okay, let's do something a little bit more
fighty.
Yeah.
Like straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. Well, yeah, that's about as much time as we have for this week of the Rumble Pod. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our first episode. And thank you for joining and starting this journey with us, because y'all are dope. Yeah, bear with us. We're learning just like everyone else is in life. But yeah, if you want to check out any of our stuff, all the like play videos are on the same channel, Rumble Roll.
Yeah.
And if you're listening on like an audio only version, those will be on an audio only version as well. I'll do it. I'll put it up. But yeah, the video is cool. But yeah, thanks so much. We've been your host. I'm the Dremagix.
I'm a fictitious professor.
And until next time, stay safe out there, adventurers.
May your 20s be natural and your
30s be healing.
We'll figure out a sign off.
I think the sign off is oh shit.
Rumblers roll out?
No, oh, that's so good.
That's a good one.
I think that's the end. That's the end. But I think the sign off would be like, may your blank be blank, and then you do may your blank be blank.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's the sign off. But that was a good first episode sign off.
Yeah.
We found it. Next one. We'll see you next time.
All right, Rumblers, roll out.
Roll out.